Hey everybody, welcome back to my Father's Home Ministry. Hope you guys had a great week. Mine was great. I enjoyed time to just relax and sleep a lot. Still getting over my cold, but I feel great today. So let's continue. We'll be talking about conflict resolution today, and how to approach conflict, and the levels of conflict you'll encounter. And also what to do when you've got a conflict within yourself, and also a conflict that you want to address. Okay, so we have a small one I want to talk about. This one is very minor, but it can be big depending on how often it happens, right? This one being left unread. Being left on read. This one is a typical one, and it's a hard one, because you gotta put yourself in a person's shoes and find out what happened. So, some examples could be lost connection, or got busy, or forgot to respond. That's common in my group anyway. You've also got people who may have just ended abruptly because something came up. You don't know, and that's the problem. The unknowing is a problem, not necessarily being left unread, but it's the unknowing. And when you start thinking about them being busy, typically you'll start thinking, well, when I'm busy, I give them my time. Right? I'm not the only one who types hi when I'm busy, or asks how people are doing when I'm doing something, or just got curious and decided to talk to somebody, kind of checking up on them. Or, when I can't make it, I usually type in busy or something, or be right back. There are lots of ways to communicate without leaving the person going, what just happened? And the funny thing is, the people who leave you unread also do the same thing when they're left unread. They think about the same things you think about. Some just don't choose to care as much as you do. So it leaves you going, let's see, it's happened this often, this many times with this one person. Man, do I just not mean that much to them? I must not matter because I put forth the effort even when I'm busy, and I'm a busy person. And the issue of being lazy, the issue of being busy, is that if you know certain people are lazy, well, then you know that being busy is not in their nature. So you wonder if it's a lie. There are lots of ways to make this a bigger deal than it needs to be, because it's the unknowing. And humans tend to be kind of skeptical about the unknowing, so I would ask people refrain from leaving people unread. Use communication. Let's avoid this issue. Let's avoid having people upset over nothing. Because look, just because you leave them on red doesn't mean that they're going to be upset or blowing up in your face or blowing up your phone. But you got to take into consideration how many times they've been left unread in the same day or the same week. Because now people are going to start taking statistics of how many people they talk to leave them on red, and for what reasons. Making you part of that statistic. And if you hate being put in a box, especially one about negative feelings and negative stuff that you've impacted on somebody, I would encourage you to not be like that. The reason why it is important to respond is because it shows character. It shows respect. It shows that they matter to you. And there are times even I have issues with this because I'm like, I don't want to stop being their friend because I like talking to them, but at the same time, I don't like being disrespected by being left unread. Or on some platforms, you can't tell if somebody's read your message or not. So you kind of have to gauge it going, if they don't respond in a certain amount of time, you see what I mean? The unknown. It's stupid. So please, be respectful to your people that you care about and respond timely or say busy, that kind of thing. Because honestly, how hard is it to type a 2-letter or 3-letter word? It doesn't take much. People will understand, or BRB. Again, 3-letter word. They'll wait. Or if you want to give a detailed explanation, that'd be nice too. That's not necessary, but it'd be nice. So, that's the minor one I can think of. There's more examples I'm sure you guys can think about. But, man. I'm still not feeling very well. But, I felt great until now. Okay, so another topic we have is the medium, okay? The minor set of conflict. This one's typically going to be with family, okay? Where it rubs you guys the wrong way, but it's not unfixable, okay? So with this one, you're going to have, your typical sibling battles where one wants to be right, one wants to be wrong. I can think of a lot of stories that I've been told by my friends. I know that some of my friends had a brother, or a sister, one time or another, that did this or that. But one story that comes up to mind is when two people are discussing something. What happens with this discussion, when it comes about, is one targets the other on the perspective that the person has. Okay, and so the said individual being targeted defends this person's viewpoint, or his or her viewpoint, and tells it like it is. Person that accused is now offended, and instead of talking about it amongst themselves, like mature people, because I'm using an example as they're in their adult years, early adult years, or late teenage years. Instead of them talking about it like civilized adults at this point, the one that accused the person leaves the room and goes to the person's parents, if they were siblings, and asks the parents if this person's right and wants to, and still accuse the person of being wrong. Newsflash. In the real world, mommy and daddy will not be there to bail you out or help you understand stuff right there on the spot at your job or on the streets. Dealing with conflict right now against your siblings is going to help improve and sharpen your skills of dealing with conflict on the spot. One of the common things you have to do during conflict is maybe admit you are wrong to begin with. By this, you do not attack. When there's a chance you could be wrong, the best option is to ask the person where they stand on this topic, that you got an issue with. They will enlighten you on their perspective of it, which may go, okay, that's your issue. All right, that's how you see things. Cool. You may understand you will not be able to persuade this person, therefore it's waste of breath, and therefore you walk away, knowing what they know now. So don't be an issue with this in the future. You just got to talk it up as we're going to have a different opinion. Fine. That's maturity. What you have a problem with, is when you try to change the person's mind in a more aggressive tone. This will immediately put the person on defense and make them question why you are here, why you question their judgment. Typically, we get into this when it's sons or daughters versus their parents. Parents are parents. Who are you to question my judgment? You know. Now, luckily, I never had parents like that. But I'm just saying, it happens, and it doesn't promote creativity or productivity. It decreases a person's value. It decreases the confidence in talking and speaking their mind. So the way this works is you would ask them questions on their topics or what they view, and then you would form a conclusion based off of their answers. Okay? This is the best and most productive way to understand the conflict that you want to address. Okay? You're not being disrespectful. You're asking questions in a polite, calm tone that's going to give you great results. What you don't want to do is aggravate the person or make the person angry with you just because you may disagree. If you don't understand, or you want the full information, or if you feel maybe your feelings are hurt because, this person's paying more attention to somebody that does what you do. Okay, it could be, sports, for example. Hey, your friend realized and gave a profound compliment to your other friend who's good at baseball, for example. But you play baseball too. And you're good as well. I mean, you know how good you are, okay? You got people that tell you how good you are. And you ask your friend, have you seen me play? Now this is your friend, so you can be a little bit more rude. It's playful in this manner. But your friend's going to go, oh yeah, I'm sorry. I just got overwhelmed because I have never seen somebody pitch that pitch before, or, hit a ball that far before. Sorry. Yeah, you're great too. I've seen you play, you know what I mean? Sometimes we get sidetracked and we don't think before we speak, especially if the person's right in front of us, okay, that we may offend. Just things happen too fast for us to process feelings, emotions, and how we come across, that we just go, hey, before I forget this thought, I want to let you know I really appreciate and I admire what you did. So, again, everything's in context, and it's important to understand the context of everything before you go into an argument, debate, or you want to try and resolve the conflict within yourself. Typically, how you resolve conflict within yourself is you just let it go. Let it slide. Or, you deal with it like, it's just not the right time. Or I'm pretty sure that person has a reason for what they did, and I'm pretty sure that reason will be justified based off their character, based off of how well I know them. Difficult to say when you just met the person online, you've been friends for years or a few weeks, whatever, and you haven't really developed enough information on their character because it's through typing. All you know is how they talk. You don't know exactly how they feel or that kind of thing, especially if they don't open up. Versus your friends in real life, you can go, hey, your face is telling me you're not happy. Tone of voice, body language, you can read somebody. So I want to get this out there that you guys understand all the variables, okay, and there could be more that I'm missing that you may have thought of, which is great, more power to you. But basically, I want this to be the foundation of how to resolve conflict for you. Everybody deals with conflict differently. Everybody sees things differently and feels differently. So think about how you can apply what I'm helping you understand to your life and build off of that. I want you to build. I don't want you to go taking my word for stuff. I want you to take what I say and apply it to your life that benefits you the best. Okay? Your success and how you help your friends out or how you come across and convey your feelings, emotions, viewpoints is very important. And I really hope that you guys take what I'm teaching here and apply it in a way that's beneficial to you, your friends group, your family, what's best all around. And part of conflict is realizing maybe there are some people you just can't help. Maybe there's people that you met at a certain point in life where they were great, but then they changed and you're going, things are so much easier back here, Things are so much easier when we were just chilling and talking, and having profound conversations, and now all of a sudden, the person's changed, and you don't know where to fit in that person's life anymore. It's difficult. It's a conflict that you got to try and figure out. And again, a lot of conflict is just puzzle pieces. You're just trying to put all the pieces of the puzzle together that's clear and makes sense to everybody. The truth, the facts, not what you convey, not what you believe, not what you can interpret. It's about the facts and the truth. Okay? So, be respectful. Try to understand before you speak. Because the last thing you want to do is come off wrong and then be shown that you were actually in the wrong, and, now I have to eat my own words and humble myself. If you've got a problem with eating your words and humbling yourself, then I recommend you do it right the first time. That's my motto. Because the last thing I want to do is look like I did something stupid. Okay, or I came off in a manner that's not correct. Now, a good sign of character is when you get angry. Okay, this is when it's hard. And you feel like just exploding at this person. You just get so upset and you're angry, and you won't let them have it, right? This is a conflict. Okay, where it's hard to tell what you want to do. Because you feel differently than what your head's telling you. And you're going, what is the right call? Well, here's the right call. Go numb. Honestly, just shut down all emotion, all feelings, and just assess the facts. How this person's treating you, what they're saying. Give them a stare, a blank stare of just processing for a minute. Take in all the information. And then just go, so let me get this straight. You think it's okay for you to attack me in this manner, using this kind of language, using this kind of way to convey your feelings. You think this is okay to yell, scream, or just agitate me when I haven't done anything physically or verbally to upset you yet. You just come off the handle at me. How am I supposed to respond positively to that? You ask them, what do you want from me? Do you want me to start hitting you? Do you want me to start, doing something that you are asking for? Do you want me to start yelling at you too? Because honestly, this is a problem that you have started. Whether they see it or not, what you're doing is putting out the facts that this whole thing started because you have a problem and you came at me with the wrong approach. And then walk away. Honestly, just walk away. That's the best thing you can do. It's harder, though, if the person is an antagonist who wants to make you upset. They're not going to leave you alone. They're not going to walk away. And you have to then understand yourself, your character, your value. And you got to think about, what will I do when this happens? Typically, this is a hard decision within the family. Okay? Because you understand how your parents are going to play this off. And you think about what you need to do to resolve this conflict peacefully, the best way you can, even though this person is being very annoying, like your brother, little brother especially. Okay, they're the antagonist. They want to make you mad. Don't know why. I'm not the youngest. I wouldn't know. But the point is, you don't give the people what they want when it comes to getting a rise out of you. It kills their fun. And sure, they'll call you a person that's too serious, whatever, or you take things too seriously. But did they win? No. Did their lives have any effect on you? No. They want to affect you. So when you give them nothing, what can they do? Extreme. That's something that happens that shouldn't happen. But before I get into that, there's one more concept on hard. Hard is also a conflict within yourself. Okay, I've covered that a little bit, but I'm going to be breaking it down even more. This one's about character. This one tests your character. Okay? Because you know what the right thing is to do. But it's not always easy doing it. Especially if you start thinking, man, I've walked away from the same person every time. They haven't gone away. The system is not working. What's the alternative? What can I do then? Well, this is where things get itchy. This is where things get really touchy for men. It's expected of men to, when they make up their mind, to not change it. They stay with it. That is what we call commitment. You made up your mind, you're going to commit to the way you made up your mind. Unless proven wrong, you're going to stay with that train of thought, you're going to stay with what you just said. Okay? This is part of being a man, this is part of growing up, this is part of learning. Okay? And as men, we are taught not to change our minds. Why? Simple. When you got to make a hard decision, a difficult one that no one will really understand. I'm not saying pick between two people, which one lives and which one dies. I'm talking about that part of your life where you're going to stick with your character or you're going to break it. Are you going to stay with your character? Or are you going to be something, you do something outside character? This one's very difficult. And that's why it's important for men to keep their emotions in check, and that's why it's important for them to do the right thing the first time and to not look back. Men are supposed to react on impulse. They're supposed to give a reaction based off of what the right thing to do is, so they can support why it's the right thing to do. Now, the right thing to do is not always easy, we know this, and people point out, when you think you're in the right, your friends will go, that's crazy. The right thing to do is not always the best way, or the right way. Here's what I mean. Justice. You would feel strongly about being in the right or getting revenge. Yeah, it would feel great, and you know, it's one of those things that just makes you feel better about yourself. You accomplished something. But we know in the Bible, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. But as a man, that one's hard to abide by. And so your friends are going to ask you, are you sure it's the right thing to do? It's wise counsel to have people around you who will ask you and challenge you in a positive way, give you constructive criticism, make you think. I like having people around me that don't tell me how to think or what to think. They help me follow my train of thought and point out some flaws in it along the way, but make me realize it myself. That's part of conflict that you have to do in some times like this. If you do this, this will be the outcome. Is that what you want? Are you okay with this kind of loss? Are you okay with this kind of win? These are things you should ask yourself if you don't have anybody you can trust, or pray to God about it. The extreme is when you get blindsided and attacked by people you trust. It should never happen, but it does. Your character that you've developed, it has to then either be shown or you just go off the books. You basically hand in your character like it's your, police badge and go, I'll be right back. Now, we've all done that one. We've all been there where we went off the books, off the record, and done something to deal with somebody that betrayed us. Okay? I know I have. It felt amazing at the time. But then you have doubts. Was it the right call? Did I do the right thing? I'm not talking about something that just betrayed you like that. I'm talking about something that's consistently betraying you. Making promises. I'm so sorry I did this. It was a mistake. I'll never do it again. And then they keep doing the same thing over again. And you've been relentlessly patient and forgiving. But they don't stop. And you are the one who's always let people walk over you and you just like, be gone, as you're wiping off the muddy footprints. If they're gone and out of my hair, that's all that matters. How many times have you done that? How many times have you gone, I'm not okay with that. That's not satisfying to me. Well, you shouldn't feel okay with it. You didn't get to call them out on stuff. You didn't get to do what you're supposed to do. Stand up for yourself. You didn't do it. Now, the first time you do, you're new to it. And so you can do things a bit more extreme. And in fact, you can do things that are even not Christian. You can make a big sin out of it. Because this is your first time, your first experience. Stand up for yourself against somebody who means you harm. But lies about not meaning you harm. No one is going to make up excuses or apologies and then keep doing it again unless they mean you harm, or they're just that stupid and don't realize what they're doing. Have some self-respect. Deal with the issue. Repent afterwards if you went too far. And actually mean it. We're human. Things happen. And this is, like I said, the extreme level where it never should happen, but it happens and it comes out of nowhere. It blindsides you because you trusted this person or these people and they blatantly had no regard for you, your feelings, your emotions, who you are. They don't care what you've done for them. They don't care what you try to do for them. They don't care how many times you were there for them. They don't care. All they care about is them. They're selfish, they're needy, and they feel great hurting other people. They're not friends. And it hurts inside because I invested though. Unfortunately, you invest in the wrong people. And these people will always find a way to come back to your life when they're not happy with theirs. They'll want to check up on you. You're not going to believe that for a second, are you? You care. Because then they try to flip it onto you. I did all that because I didn't feel like you cared. And what indication did I give that I didn't care? I listened to you when you cried. I listened to you when you had issues with this or that. I helped you through a hard time in your life. Now, what makes it worse is that this person is suicidal. And you're trying to help them, him or her, and you can't break through that wall. And when you try to be there for them, then they threaten to block you. I want to stress that the block button is really old. It should only be used for those who mean you harm. It should only be used for those that are actually here to attack, to hurt you, to bring you down. The block button is for those who are in the wrong, causing the conflict, making you feel like garbage, not because you are innocent, but because... No, sorry. The block button should be used because you're innocent. Okay? If you are not innocent and you are using the block button, that's on you. And honestly, you're fortunate that the people you're bashing or causing issues with didn't block you first. Again, shows their character over yours. And guess what? I know a lot of people out there be like, yeah, I'm okay with that. You're okay with it. You're okay. I've known a lot of girls who are okay with being mean to guys. I know a lot of girls who are okay with being mean to people. I knew a girl who said that she was a devil incarnate. And she'd laugh about it. That's not a good thing. You psycho. Guys, they don't act that way. Guys deal differently than girls. But in this extreme concept here, it's just really difficult to understand what to do. Until you've been there multiple times and you've learned. And your skin has gotten super thick at this point. You're just done. If this is the same person coming back, you let them back. Why? Well, because they might have changed. You always give them the benefit of the doubt because you're a nice person. But then they pull the same stuff again. How are you supposed to treat them? How are you supposed to treat them? Let's see, God says I love everybody, but at the same time, Jesus didn't show me the same kindness. He didn't. There's some people he was rude to because there was no talking to them. It's hard to say what's the right decision, what's the wrong decision in this area because these are positions not many are put in all the time. Not consistently. They're betrayed and that person leaves. They don't come back. Some come back though. And when they come back, you don't know how to feel. And that's kind of their goal. Their goal is to get you off guard. So that's why it's better to guard your heart and not give them time of day. Or bring them back, but play them instead of letting them play you. That way you're getting innocent and satisfying revenge. Just be careful. Be very careful. Because they play every angle. I've known ones like, you're so nice to me even after everything I did to you. Yeah, because I'm not like you. I wasn't made like you. I wasn't made to betray and then keep betraying. You don't say that, of course, but it's how you feel. And you just try to show them God's love and God's kindness. And then when they betray you again, you forgive them, do it again and again and again. Some people would walk away by now. But why haven't you? Well, it's not that you enjoy getting hurt. It's not that you enjoy the pain. It's because you are intrigued at where this is going to lead. Will the person's character ever develop? Will they ever repent of their ways and ask for your forgiveness? Odds are they won't. Because every time they ask for your forgiveness, they end up blocking you shortly after. It's been my friend's experience. It's been my experience. When we try to help out and be there for people who we're not taught to be honest people. And it's a problem. It's horrible. But what can you do? What are you going to do? Be careful who your friends are. And some people you just rough without. People that make the promise they love you or that they care, be skeptical. Guard your heart until they prove themselves worthy, because that's a conflict you do not want. You don't want the extreme conflict. You don't want to be hurt by the people you love. but it happens. And you still figure out how to deal with it. You still don't know how to deal with it. You're still learning it. So there's going to be lots of bumps and bruises along the way. And your character will not be in check. You will have a lot of issues that you have to figure out. Conflict helps us grow as people. Not everybody's the same. So you can't always treat certain people the same you would treat everybody else, because the conflict may be different this time. You may actually find someone that actually learned, hey, yeah, thank you for helping me understand that I actually did that, I'm so sorry, you know? Or you got a friend that goes, hey man, I betrayed you on your back. You did what? Yeah, I went behind your back and I did this and this and this, and I realize now it was a mistake, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Sure, and no problem. The important thing is you realize your mistake and you had the guts to tell me to my face that you're sorry and that it shouldn't happen anymore. I appreciate that. And honestly, I did my relationship video last week, or this week, but not during the week. So I'll tell you this. It has been my experience that guys, when they do something wrong, they'll make it clear to your face. Okay? And they'll make sure that you understand that they're sorry. That's my experience. Because my guys respected me. My guys had my back. So when they did something that I didn't like, or they knew that they had hurt our bond or friendship, they were very sorry. Girls, I don't remember getting a decent, honest apology. I don't. Doesn't mean it didn't happen. Just means I don't remember it. It means it wasn't very memorable. But for the guys, yeah, they have been very trustworthy. And I'm giving you girls some insight because I want you to realize some good guys are actually out there. And I've read posts. I've seen some good girls out there too who actually will fight for men. I appreciate those girls. They give us their support, and I will mention them because, man, men need it. Men need more female support. They do. I'm not going to say it's one side where guys are better than girls. What I'm saying is everybody's different. They deal with conflict differently. And in my experience, girls cause the most conflict and the most drama. I'm sorry that that's the way it is. If you don't like it, fix it. I can't fix that. That's out of my jurisdiction. That's not my issue. I can deal with guys. If you got a guy problem, hey, send him my way. Okay? I'll talk to him. I'll get him to understand. But a girl, whoa. If they're teachable, send them my way. If they're not, then do your best to bridge the gap between guys and girls. We all need love. We all need forgiveness. We all need compassion. And I try my best to deal with conflict out of love and respect for the person, not because of my position, not because of my words or how I'm valued by them. I'm not using my influence at all. I try to help them understand where they went wrong and how they can correct it. If you want more of a personal level, talk to me. If you got an issue, please come my way. Let me help you out with that. Okay? My experience with conflict has been from suicide, depression, to what do I do when I had intimate physical interaction with somebody too soon. That's kind of heavy stuff. So if it's not that heavy, then, hey, means it should be easier. I help people. That's what I do. And I fight for what's right, and I'm not afraid of that. Now I'm going to make a statement here. I want to make this very clear, okay? I'm a Christian. I'm a man. And I will not apologize, nor compromise. I am me. I do my best. I'm not perfect. I go with what I believe, and I stand on it. If you don't like it, you can leave. But I'm not changing. Only when I'm changing is for the better, not for the worst. I refuse to go down that road. I refuse to put devalued on my forehead or sellout. I will always speak my mind. I will always be honest. Because honesty will set you free. So why lie? Why try to hide stuff? Do you know how hard it is to keep all the skeletons in your closet? Versus if everybody knew what you had in your closet? Be mindful and use good discernment, though, when you tell people what's in your closet, when you open up. Conflict has a lot to do with discernment. You, when resolving conflict, have to decide what outcome you're happy with. Now, conflict in a church. I love this. Okay, so conflict within a church sometimes calls for mediator, which would be the pastor or youth pastor, depending on where it happened. Okay? So, the way this is going to work is, say you got a conflict between two different families. Okay? Both loved by the church. By me. If I got a family causing a problem with this other family, saying this family is doing something wrong to this family, I'm going to mediate. If it gets out of hand, I'm going to mediate. We'll sit down. I'm going to ask, what's your problem with this family? Okay? See what they say. Now, I'm going to find out very quickly, which party started what. And if party 1 is the one that started stuff, then I'm going to ask, okay, what did you do? Oh, so that's how you chose to handle it, okay. Well, I don't care what they did. I'll get to that in a little bit. I care about what you did first. If you started this issue, you gotta tell me why. Because honestly, you had to break it down to where it first started. To resolve the conflict, you first have to understand people's feelings, why it happened, and the truth. And how it affected people. Because listen, if it's rumors and lies that people are hearing or spreading about somebody in the church, it needs to stop. Get to the bottom of it. Part 2, I'm going to correct them on how they handle themselves, if they handle themselves inappropriately or incorrectly. Same with party number 1. I'm going to work with both of them on how they should have handled the conflict. Second, when it comes to this, it's very important you get the facts. Provide me evidence of what you say against this family. Provide me evidence that you're not like this, that you did not do this. If I know them on personal levels, I have a better idea of what happened. Typically within a church, the most common conflict known is personality conflicts. With personality conflicts, it's very important you do this one step. Accept them for who they are. Call them when you need a job done that they can do. Don't write them off. Appreciate them for the good qualities that they have, and let them work on the other issues that they are working on or should be working on. Okay? Everybody's different. Everybody has different things, ways of doing stuff, and everybody has different problems. We're not here to point those out. I mean, yeah, hey man, this guy's a great guy, but I mean, he's got this and this and this going against him, man. I wouldn't be around him. Sure, what he says is true, but hey man, he's also got a lot of issues with all these different things, man. There's lust, there's lying, there's deception. Great guy though, nothing against him. That doesn't work. Okay? You can't name off these things and say he says the truth when you list him as a liar. They do that all the time in churches. All the time. Hey man, don't trust that dude. Look how he dresses. I'm going to point out something real quick here about conflict, because this goes with it. Who do you think is better dressed for conflict? Guys in suits or guys in leather? With their spikes, chains, whatever they have. Who do you think is more equipped? I'll leave that for you guys to think about for a minute. Now, within the church, we've also got more conflict arising. Mostly on interpretation. I want to talk about this. So, most churches, so there's a lot of churches, not most, but a lot of churches, they try and focus on trying to interpret the Bible in a certain way that fits the way that they live their life or the way that they want their church to be built. Now, the issue I have with interpreting the Bible is this. You do not interpret the Bible in certain areas, such as where the truth lies. What Jesus says, what God says, and how things happened. The truth is the truth. It should be spoken. It should not be watered down. It should not be added to. Alright? It should not be interpreted. This is very important. What you shouldn't be able to interpret is how someone's feeling during this or that. You know, the person's emotions or walking in the person's shoes. Put yourself in that person's shoes. That's what you can interpret. Interpret that, not the truth. And don't try and fit that to the way you think, the way you feel, or that kind of thing. That's not what the Bible's meant for. It is the instruction manual of how to live life, not how to live life according to you or your church. I will always be here to call people out and make sure that the truth has been delivered appropriately, correctly, and I'll make sure not to deceive. Now, another conflict within ourselves is this. I've already talked about double standards about cussing, but I want to talk about this for a minute here. There's an eternal, internal, alright, problem with how we use our tongue. How we choose to speak. As Christians, I talked about double standard, but I'm talking about it again. As Christians, cussing, using language that is not glorifying to God, is not put on the sandals of peace or the shoes, or the sandals of readiness and the shoes of peace. Putting on the sandals of readiness and the shoes of peace means that you are going to conduct yourself in a manner that's glorifying to God. You need to have a good conduct. So your speech needs to change. I myself realized this, and now I gotta change how I talk, especially on here. I'm changing my habits in my daily life. I'm working on stuff, because I've realized that I can't say the stuff that I've been saying while I am trying to practice God's work. As Christians, I appreciate you guys working on your speech this week, working with people in your conflict. Trying to resolve conflict peacefully, trying to resolve conflict in a better manner. And inside of a church, I want to bring this up, nobody should leave in a church over conflict. When it's resolved appropriately, when it's resolved constructively when it's resolved in a way that makes everybody happy without a compromise. I'll bluntly put it. Party 1, you need to work on this and this and this. Okay? Party 2, work on this and this and this. Hug or shake hands and make up. I'm not going to have my church divided. I'm not going to have one of you guys leave. I value everybody here, and I want you guys to stay. But this cannot keep happening anymore. And if I have to, I will schedule a trip for the two families to spend a weekend or a week together. There will be a retreat only for the two of you. And I will assign somebody completely removed from the equation to monitor your behaviors. If there's improvement or if there's no improvement. And how much the improvement's going and how much the improvement, the lack of improvement is going. I want to know how my flock is doing. It's important to me. I value you. I respect you. I respect your children, your daughters, your sons, your wife, your husband. I respect all of them. And I will not allow the enemy to tear apart my family. I fight for you guys. I speak for you guys. That's why I'm here every week. To put my heart out here. To stand on the front lines with my armor of God. And help you when you get no place else to turn. Do your research about conflict resolution. Come up with a way that's going to help you defuse the bombs. My discussion video is very good on how to deal with people who are deceived. This video is mostly a constructive video of how to defuse a bomb within your family, your friend group, and online. Some bombs you gotta let go off and explode because there's no saving them. But others you can save. And I will look society in the eyes and I will tell them. Because there's more than two eyes, I guarantee it. I will look them in all their eyes and I'll tell them, you are blatantly wrong. Just blatantly wrong. And you'll have no effect on my family. I love you all. Have a good week. And I enjoy talking to you, and I'm hoping that you guys have learned something and will resolve the conflict in your lives this week. Be mindful, be respectful, be thoughtful and courteous to those around you, and please really work on not leaving people in red. It's very rude, and it shows lack of respect, and it's just something that needs to stop. Do your best. It probably won't stop. I'm just trying to tell you guys. You know you don't like it too, so please do your best not to do it to others. It's one thing if you don't get the text or don't get notified. That's fine. Absolutely fine. There's a reason for everything. Just make sure the reason wasn't selfish. Because this is our way of connecting nowadays. This is our way of being there for people that we can't be for, we can't be there for physically. It's an outreach program. So outreach. Reach out. Touch somebody. Stay with that person. Don't make them feel like they're doing the work in the relationship, friendship, or relationship, whatever it is. Don't make them feel like they're the ones that care. And you don't. It's not a good friendship to be in. Take care, guys. God bless all you guys this week. I will be praying for people. I know that Pastor Matthew could use some more prayer. Please pray for him and his ministry and the orphans over in Kenya. We're doing our best to help him out. And I also want to say that God gave us a blessing this week. So, praise God. Praise God. Thank you for coming. Thank you all for joining me this week. And I will come up with another one for you guys next week. And I will see you then. Have a good one, guys.